welcome back to the Tailgate. We have with us today Chris Mackey, Extension Agent from Unicoi County. We're glad to have him with us today. And we thought we'd hit just a few of the highlights of the Tennessee Ag Enhancement Program this year. There's been several changes this year, as you can well tell, and one of the very first things that people need to know, Chris, is the change in dates. Why don't you tell us about the change in dates for application?
Used to, we had anywhere from a month to 2 weeks, but it's really important that the big change this year, you only have from October 1st through October 7th to get those applications in to be eligible to receive that assistance. So be sure, if you have any questions, concerns, or need help with your application, that you get that in from the 1st all the way through the 7th.
Yes, and it's very important to remember that you cannot turn them in any earlier than the 1st.
That's right.
The postmark date has to be no earlier than October the 1st, but no later than October the 7th. We don't have any paper copies in our offices as of today's date, September the 2nd, but we do know those are on the way, so hopefully we'll have those within the next week or 10 days. Most of the programs don't require a lot of prerequisites, things that you need to do before you fill out. So I think everybody will be in good shape and be able to get a paper copy if they need it. But the expedient way of doing it is to fill it out online, and those are available online now. You can go ahead and get that filled out and be ready to hit the send button come October the 1st. And we'll reiterate, like we do every year, that if you get it in on the 1st, or it's postmarked on the 2nd, or if it's postmarked on the 7th, it makes no difference. They look at them all together. So getting them in early is not any big deal. Chris, tell us a little bit about the change in the program on hay equipment this year. I know that's been a popular part of the program, at least last year.
Yep, so last year you had the opportunity to receive money towards actual hay equipment. They've changed that, and this year they're going back to hay storage. So that's one of the big changes from last year that they've done as well. From years past, I think there's been the amount of reimbursement is going to be different too. Is that right, Milton?
It is. You'll find that most of the reimbursement limits are going to be a little lower than they were last year and the years previous to now. And it has to do with the amount of money available and trying to serve as many farmers as we can across the state of Tennessee. And like you said, the hay equipment may not be there this year, but it will be back next year. They're going to alternate the hay barns and the hay equipment, both being a really popular program, so they're going to do alternate years on that. And this is the year for the hay barns. So if you've been thinking about a hay barn and you need it before 2022, then it'd be a good thing to go ahead and get your application in for the hay barn this year. Chris, tell us a little bit about some of the other programs that are there that have not changed as much other than those reimbursement figures.
One other big change that they have to this year is that in the herd health specifically, you only have 3 opportunities to apply for that. So if you've already applied 3 previous times, I'm pretty sure you're ineligible to apply for herd health again.
There is a lifetime limit of 3 reimbursements on the herd health.
Yep. So, but that doesn't deter you. If you've applied for it last year and you're still eligible, go ahead and apply for that for this year.
And one of the things that is particularly interesting to me on that is that they're now going to cost share on some of the genomics that we've been talking about, being so useful to us in picking those superior sires that can put more pounds on the ground for us, learning a little bit more about the genetic value of those animals. So that's one of the things that they'll cost share on, whether it's females or males, either one. So I think that's a really important thing. And of course, we still have the things like the livestock handling facilities, livestock working facility covers, still the agritainment for those of you that might be interested in that. So a lot of the older ones would be, a lot of the older programs that we've had in the past are still going to be there. For those folks that are involved in the dairy industry, there's another addition to our Ag Enhancement Program this year, specifically geared toward the dairy producers. So I think you'll find a lot of interesting things there to help yourself out and become a more cost efficient and controlling input costs, which is a major part of making it in the dairy business today in the state of Tennessee. So make sure that you take time, if you've got the capability, to go online and check out the new program. Look at the things that are available. If you don't have that online capability, again, check with your extension agent or extension office within the next 10 days to 2 weeks, and we should have paper copies there in our office as well. I've been getting a lot of phone calls, Chris, from producers that got cards in the mail from the Tennessee Cattlemen's Association about their BQA running out on November the 1st, 2020. How does that affect them in being able to apply for the Tennessee Ag Enhancement Program?
So for this year, it actually won't make a difference, because at the time of application, you need to be updated on your BQA. So with a November expiration, that's past that October time, so you're A-OK for this year. However, next year, you're definitely going to need to have that updated BQA number to apply for TAEP 2021.
That's right, Chris. And, you know, with the COVID-19 regulations and social distancing and CDC guidelines that we're needing to follow with meetings right now, it's a little difficult for folks to get into some meetings. So if your BQA does not expire until 2020, November 1st, 2020, then it might be a good idea to kind of go ahead and think about scheduling that early after October so that you can go ahead and get that done, because we don't know what our meeting schedules are going to look like, and we may be limited on how many people we can do. We are working with Tennessee Cattlemen's Association as we speak to try to do this online as well through Zoom meetings. So I think we'll get that worked out, and you'll probably be hearing from a lot of the extension agents across the state about online opportunities for BQA as well. Another question I get is Master Beef certification, and I just like to say that if you're applying this year, your Master Beef does not have to be current at the time of application, but it does need to be current before you send in for reimbursement. And if you've got a certificate that is dated January the 1st, 2017 or later, then you are good for this year. Now, if your expiration date is before January 1st, 2017, we need to take steps to get you recertified before you turn in for reimbursement. And I think that first reimbursement deadline, there's some changes there, is April the 1st.
That's right, yep.
So we need to get you recertified before that. We do have some online opportunities coming up, and I'll mention those right quick. Our Northeast Tennessee Beef Expo, which has served as recertification opportunities for a number of years, is not going to happen this year due to the COVID-19 and the social distancing concerns. So we are doing a 4-night online recertification. That'll be October the 8th, 13th, 15th, and 20th from 6 until 8:30 at night. And you can register through your extension office just by calling your local extension office and tell them that you want to recertify through the online program in October, and they can get you set up for that. So Chris, anything else, any words of wisdom on the Master Beef or the BQA?
No words of wisdom, but if you absolutely need any help with anything, questions about the new updates, Milton, I, Sarah, whoever your extension agent is, are more than happy to help you out and get you geared in the right direction.
Folks, thanks for stopping by the TailGate today. We'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.